He's operated in the centre mainly. David Lyon is injured. Steve Prescott's on the wing. We've watched this 18-year-old developing this season on Sky. He was playing amateur football just a year ago. Ian Pickavance makes only his 4th appearance for St Helens since he was signed from Swinton in the summer. Paul Loughlin is in his benefit year at St Helens, having signed 10 years ago. Andy Haig has played 4 games for Saints. He's picked up losing pay in each one. Jonathan Griffiths is the Welsh international standoff who plays his 4th game in a row in this, his favourite position. Gus O'Donnell plays his 4th game in a row too at scrum half. O'Donnell, the £80,000 buy from Wigan. Andy Dannett was sin-binned against Salford on Wednesday, the £80,000 signing from Hull in October. Tommy Hodgkinson is deputising for the injured Bernard Dwyer at hooker. It's his 3rd game in the number 9 jersey. John Harrison makes his first appearance of the season. He played in the A-team on Friday night and he was drafted in because of all the injury problems. Chris Joynt forms half the Great Britain second row partnership they have on the books here at Knowsley Road, and he's on his way to the World Sevens. But Sonny Nicol isn't, despite the fact that he played a prominent part in the Test series last year against New Zealand. There's no Shane Cooper, so Sean Casey gets the chance for his home debut, signed from the St Helens Amateurs Blackbrook in 1991. And the coach at Saints, it's the first time that we've seen a St Helens team prepared by him in the big league. It's Eric Hughes. Warrington have slipped down a place in the big league table after Wigan beat Leeds on Friday. They're now 3rd, but depending on Bradford's result today at Sheffield, they could be back on top of the table come tonight, completing their preparations for this important match. Lee Penny is the Academy and Under-21 international fullback. He scored a try against Leeds last weekend. Mark Forster ran in 3 tries in 10 minutes last Sunday. It was his first hat-trick since 1986. Welshman Alan Bateman is one of 4 Warrington players to reach double figures in the try-scoring stakes last season. He has 4 so far this term. Jonathan Davis has done so much to propel Warrington into a title-chasing side. The game's leading point scorer, 217 to his credit. Rob Myler ran in 2 excellent tries against Leeds last Sunday, and with 12, he's into double figures for the first time. Kevin Ellis is the standoff. He passed a late fitness test and he plays. He started the last 18 now in the number 6 jersey. Greg Mackey is one of only 3 Australians ever to win the Man of the Match award in the Premiership final. He collected the Harry Sunderland Trophy in 1991 at Old Trafford with Hull. Warrington welcomed back Gary Chambers to the front row. He's missed the last 6. The Cumbrian really was the form prop before going out injured. Hooker is John Thursfield. He's had to be really patient waiting for his chance. Understudy to the now departed Dwayne Mann these past 2 years. Roland Phillips was impressive last week against Leeds. He came back really well after a disappointing display against Wigan. The second row sees Paul Derbyshire at 11. He was hooker for the first time in his career against Saints in the Regal Trophy last month. Mike Gregory maintains his place alongside him. Knee and Achilles problems thankfully seen behind him now. This is his 4th consecutive appearance in the Warrington second row. And Kelly Shelford completes the lineup and he's playing so well. It's remarkable that he's been overlooked by his country for the past 2 years. The coach at Warrington, he's had a real dilemma in who to pick and who to leave out today, but it's part and parcel of Brian Johnson's job. So a bitterly cold but beautifully clear and crisp day at Knowsley Road for this top match in the big league. St Helens 6th against Warrington 3rd. Warrington scored 7 tries to 3 last Sunday to beat Leeds by 37 points to 18. It's boosted their morale after that defeat against Wigan in the last minute the week before. Warrington today in their away kit. And Kelly Shelford, the man who really has done so much to propel Warrington up to the top of the table. A try in the 2 meetings against St Helens this season. But Jonathan Griffiths leading St Helens for the very first time. The Welsh international is captain for the day because Shane Cooper is one of 10 St Helens first-teamers currently out injured. Griffiths, the Welsh international, 4th game in a row at standoff, and he's forming quite a bond with Gus O'Donnell, who's the scrum half. Let's have a quick check on the Saints team. The backs, Vivas, Prescott, Pickavance, Lachlan, Haig, Griffiths, and confirmation that he is the captain, and O'Donnell. And the forwards, Dannett, Hodgkinson, Harrison, Joint, Nicol and Casey. The substitutes, John McAtee, who's a product of the St Helens Academy side, and Mike Riley. Some unfamiliar names on that St Helens team sheet because of so many injuries. But Ian Pickavance makes only his 4th full appearance for St Helens, signed from Swinton during the summer. Now the Warrington team: Penny, Forster, Bateman, Davis, Myler, Ellis and Mackey. That's unchanged from last week against Leeds, but the one change in the forwards is that Gary Chambers returns to the side after missing the last 6. Thursfield, Phillips, Derbyshire, Gregory and Shelford, and Elliott and Hilton on the bench. And Gary Chambers, they've done well actually to get through the 6-match spell that he has been out. Chambers was without doubt one of the form prop forwards in the game before he was injured. And the match referee, well, we had his twin brother Bob with us this time last week. In fact, it was for the Lee match against Widnes on the Friday night, and today it's John Connolly making yet another appearance on the big league. So it's the Stones Bitter Championship, the match from the very top of the table. Warrington will be hoping to go back to the top tonight if Bradford come unstuck against Sheffield. But St Helens will be doing their best to try and stop them. And Davis gets this important local derby underway. Not one of Warrington's happiest hunting grounds, this. They haven't won here now in 4 years. And immediately they've conceded a penalty for Chambers going high on Pickavance.
A little bit heavy there. You can see coming over the top, trying to attack the man's head. You can see the left arm spin right through, giving a little bit of a facial. Not the best return for the prop forward Gary Chambers. So important though for St Helens to get off to a flying start.
And it's with 6'7" tall John Harrison now playing the first time this season. O'Donnell and Sonny Nicol. Big favourite here at Knowsley Road is Nicol, taking Saints up to the halfway mark. St Helens, their title hopes are now gone. But in their last home game, well, they beat Widnes over the New Year holiday by 24 points to 16. And they have a proud record here at Knowsley Road. Hodgkinson does well. Man filling in the number 9 jersey for Bernard Dwyer. There he is at dummy half as Chris Joint plays the ball. This is O'Donnell, who just strips one over the top. A little bit too much power behind it, though. Penny was able to watch it run dead.
A little bit too strong, but the idea is correct. Gus O'Donnell trying to catch the Warrington defence snapping there. And they were equal to the task, just a little bit too long. The tactics, obviously, from St Helens is to try to pen Warrington way back in their own quarter.
Of course, St Helens are playing under the direction of a brand new coaching regime here at Knowsley Road these days. Eric Hughes brought in to replace Mike McLennan. That's a bit scrappy from Warrington, but they managed to keep the ball alive, and this is a good break from Kelly Shelford. Shelford still going, and that's a good tackle from Griffiths in the end. Warrington want to get on with it quickly. Ellis to Gregory. Here's Davis. Davis brings Bateman onto it. Good tackling in the end from Sean Casey. Gregory, the dummy half, to Ellis. This is Shelford. Shelford dabs the ball over the top, looking for the pace of Forster, but Vivers is there, read the script perfectly.
Well played by Vivers. Now the referee have allowed them to play that ball. He was in the field of play, and Warrington dragged him back. Good refereeing by John Connolly.
Now Andy Dannett. That's a great driving run from Dannett. He brushed Lee Penny aside, couldn't get away from Shelford, and a forward pass. A little bit of lack of communication.
Well, Joint was supposedly to be the dummy runner. The ball was to go behind him. Just forgot his little marbles there, Jonathan Griffiths, but the referee, John Connolly, saw that one. He didn't see the one previous, though. I thought the pass from Davis to Bateman was forward.
Warrington back in possession. Here's Chambers. They've done well, Warrington, to maintain this run of form without Chambers, because he really was the star of the front row. But Roland Phillips who's in possession now, has adapted well and has come into this Warrington side, and he too has done well. Warrington are inside the 20-metre zone. It's now with their captain, Mackey. Calls Mike Gregory on the run around. A good challenge coming in from Sean Casey, and a great tackle it was, almost jolted the ball away. That tackle from Griffiths did jolt the ball away from Ellis. Good defence from Saints.
Good defence, but really the pass wasn't on. Shelford was falling to the ground with the tackle. Trying to keep the ball alive. Just a little bit panic football from Warrington at the moment.
They come into this match odds-on favourites with so many of the St Helens side out injured. When you're lacking players like Lyon, Hunt, Sullivan, Mann, Rapati, Neal, Dwyer, Fogarty and Tommy Martin, that is the sort of injury list, Steve-O, that will cripple many clubs.
It's not the best of form for them, but running like that by the prop forward, John Harrison, it really is the forwards that have got to build a foundation for Saints this afternoon.
Good quick hands from St Helens. Pickavance gets the ball out wide, looking for Steve Prescott. Davis got a touch to it, and it's going to be Saints head and feet at this scrum.
The ball's keeping alive, and you'll see that Davis and Pickavance, but it was Davis that just got the fingertips. Touch judge right on the spot there.
Head-to-head between these two sides over the years, St Helens have the advantage, and that advantage really is down to their form here at Knowsley Road. Phillips injured, limping back into the scrum, just to emphasise that point about the form here at Knowsley Road by St Helens against Warrington. They've lost only 4 of 20 meetings here over the past 20 years. Another dubious looking pass from Ellis to Gregory. John Connolly, policing the defending line, says Warrington can play on.
Interesting to see that John Connolly, the referee, overruled the touch judge for that scrum. Touch judge claiming that it came off Warrington. It should have been a St Helens head and ball.
That's a lovely step from Penny. He got round Pickavance. This is Davis. Davis, good tackling though from the big prop forward Harrison. Ellis the dummy half. Now Mackey. Mackey tries to float one over the far side. He was lucky really to get away with that. Sliced it, but it landed in the field of play.
Nice play though. As you say, not the best kick, but the idea was there. Planned move, of course. Mark Forster in excellent form. Hat-trick against Leeds last week. Interesting to see how Warrington are running the angles.
Davis is down injured, Steve-O. Took a bang in that movement. Andy Haig almost through. Here's Griffiths and Loughlin. Good run from Loughlin. Took 3 to bring him down. I must say, Steve-O, I'm impressed by the start the St Helens have made. They really do look eager here today, despite so many missing. And here's a great run from Joint, and he has the winger in support. That's a great tackle though on Prescott by Kevin Ellis. Joint to Hodgkinson, to O'Donnell, and the burst from Casey will take him home. Yes, try! What a start for the Saints. Tremendous play from St Helens, typical of them, and Sean Casey gets off the mark on this, his home debut.
It all came about with a long run down the right-hand side, and this is how it was tackled. You can see that Ellis has made a wonderful tackle. Touch judge says, get away, let him play. Nods his head, but you'll notice there's a cross ball. Gus O'Donnell misses a lot of men out. Watch this one. Long ball through. That was beautiful pass there by O'Donnell. And this young loose forward, Sean Casey, didn't he do well? Good play by Tommy Hodgkinson. Ball out wide. That is a superb pass. You could see that the second rower, Mike Gregory, had just moved out, took the gamble, and was caught leaving the gap. But what a great opening from St Helens.
So now it's Paul Loughlin in the sunshine, trying to add to that goal-kicking tally. Been given the kicking responsibility by Eric Hughes. It was taken away from him briefly by Mike McLennan, but he misses with that first conversion attempt. So it's 4-0 to St Helens, a perfect start for the men from Knowsley Road.
Notice how Mike Gregory has come out on his own, not in a straight line. The pass, and look where the gap is. Super pass, super position. But Mike Gregory will not like that. Not the best defensive plan. But let's not take anything away from the young loose forward. Casey in for a super try.
Yes, great stuff, and it must, I think, be pointed out that many of these players who have come into this St Helens side have been coached by Eric Hughes over the past couple of years in the academy. So they know the way Eric Hughes likes to play, and here is one of them, Steve Prescott, an outstanding young talent. Yet again this afternoon we're seeing some of the cream of the young crop that's operating in the big league. But what a run from Pickavants. He was bought from Swinton in the summer. He's 25, and he's starting to bed in nicely now. Dannett with the strong run. It's an opening 9.5 minutes full of vim and vigour from Saints.
It's been great stuff, and the forwards are leading the way. They really are charging on to this ball. Andy Dannett, John Harrison, Joint, Nicol, Casey, and the hooker Hopkinson really is taking control.
Little kick over the top from Gus O'Donnell just to push Warrington back still further.
Nice chip over. Took his time. Was not harassed. The Warrington defence not quick enough to close him down.
Well, St Helens, many people might say, are playing today with their backs very much against the wall, against this rampant Warrington side. But of course it is a local derby. No love lost between these two sides, no quarter ass, none given. And it's a smashing start for the Saints. 10 minutes gone, 4-0. Chambers in possession, and he is wearing the number 8 jersey, worn last week by Craig Teetzel, who's out injured. He's talking now with Mark Wallace.
Craig, not the sort of start Warrington were wanting, really.
No, Saints have come out, very strongly, and we expected that from the result midweek. It was always going to make it harder for us, but we just got to grind out our sets of 6, get a good kick in, and control the ball.
Do you think with Warrington being Saints have all these injuries that they came out maybe overconfident?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't in the dressing room before the game, but I'm sure the boys wouldn't have thought like that. With Saints having all the injuries, all the young blokes to be out there to impress for them, so in some cases it makes it harder for you.
It looks like a replay of last week against Leeds, doesn't it? They scored. Do you think Warrington will come back into it?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll come back into it. It is the same sort of start as last week, and I'm sure we'll come back into the game.
Yes, the difference is that Leeds were ahead 6-0 here, Saints are ahead 4-0, but St Helens playing so well at the moment with Prescott. They're giving the ball plenty of air, they're keeping it alive, and that was an elbow by Penny. Now that was foolish by the young fullback. No need whatsoever for that.
Well, a tackle had been made. Look at that. Another one. Had 2 goes at it, right in front of the touchers. There's the first one. Missed it. Made sure the second, and really, there's no impact there. We can do without that.
And so can Warrington. That was a needless penalty. Here's Harrison. They'll be delighted to see him back, the biggest forward in the big league at 6'7". He's a daunting figure. And here's another Andy Dannett. Hodgkinson to O'Donnell. They look so lively, St Helens. That's a great ball from Griffiths, but Casey just couldn't hang on to it. Almost a carbon copy move for the try.
Yeah, the ball was spinning a little bit too high then. The youngster Sean Casey, there you can see the ball was on its way up. Had to make a last grasp at it, but the knock-on resulted. But very impressed with St Helens' opening. They're full of confidence, full of running.
Here's someone else who should be full of confidence and running, Mark Forster, but he can go nowhere without the legs. And Griffiths wrapped him up. Now here's Penny. Lovely step from Penny. And Pickavants, big lad for a centre. Quite something to go round. Another dubious pass from Warrington. Gregory carries on with the pass to Chambers. Good tackling from Saints.
Excellent defence. They really are applying that pressure. They've lost their way, Warrington, I'm afraid. St Helens defence forcing them to play in one-out football.
Shelford being forced to hang on to it and being forced down the middle. Warrington have already beaten St Helens twice this season, once in the big league on Sky, once in the Regal Trophy. St Helens desperate not to suffer the hat-trick. Here's Mackey. Tried to keep the ball alive. The ball went backwards. Play on is the referee's verdict. Hodgkinson. No support for Hodgkinson.
That just goes to show, though, the way that Warrington really have lost the plot. They were trying to keep that ball alive when really the kick should have been on. It should have been right down into the corner. They find themselves under pressure now.
Penalty to Warrington, I think, for the use of an elbow by hooker Hodgkinson.
It went right into the head. You'll see this there, right into the head of Mackey. Mackey going low. He used the elbow. Don't have to be the tackler. There you can see it. The man carrying the ball can be just as lethal. And well spotted by John Connolly. Perhaps a little bit fortunate there for Hodgkinson.
Roland Phillips. Welsh international, impressive last week against Leeds. Thursfield to Mackey, to Chambers. Mackey again. Switches the ball back inside to Shelford. That was well taken by Bateman. It's a great run from Bateman. Should he have released the ball though to Penny?
He should. That was a try bomb.
Gregory trying to rescue the situation, gets the ball away. Great tackling on that far side. Forward pass though is the verdict. Forster wants to get on with it, get away from Andy Haig, but John Connolly's already blown the whistle, and Gregory can't believe it.
I don't know why. It certainly was forward. He threw the dummy, and you'll see. Tries to get the ball away, and that is forward. But that was a bomb try from Warrington. It was a beautiful work move. The crisscross brought in the centre, Bateman, and Bateman makes a break, and on the inside is Lee Penny, and he does not get the ball away. It should have gone first time.
What a great tackle from Phil Vevers, though, Steve-O. That did save the 4 points, didn't it? Here's Pickavance. My word, what an impressive opening quarter and hour from this fellow. Harrison now.
Well, I'm sure the St Helens fans are absolutely stunned by this. It is just not the same side that was defeated so heavily midweek. They are playing with a lot of confidence and a lot of fire too.
Yes, in case you missed it, St Helens were beaten 34 points to 2 by Salford on Wednesday. It was their worst defeat at the Willows since before the war. But they've bounced back here, and they lead Warrington, who have titles on their mind, by 4 points to 0. But O'Donnell's kick over the top was too long.
Little halfback not too happy with that. He knows he tried to get it just into the corner. That's the object, to try to keep the ball in. That way they can try to defend and keep them penned into that quarter for the 6.
That's Paul Derbyshire playing in the second row today. Thursfield to Chambers. Brian Johnson in communication with his bench via the walkie-talkie. Don't think he's enjoying what he's seeing, but he might be enjoying this, because it's a great run from Phillips. Oh, and that should have kept hold by Penny. It was a forward pass, I think, anyway.
He can't believe it. Beautiful run there by Phillips. He should have taken that. Well, they bombed one try just a few moments ago, and Lee Penny did get the pass this time and put it to ground. But what a great run on the angle by the prop forward, Roland Phillips. There was a huge gap in the St Helens defence.
Warrington's 4 handling errors proving costly at the moment, and that's a dangerous challenge on Phil Vevers. I don't think he was actually speared. I think his legs went up in the air after the tackle, and then, oh, well, maybe he was speared.
He was speared. Well, he really has lost the plot, I'm afraid. The little fullback Lee Penny gave away a penalty with the elbows, and this time you can see trying to drill the fullback Phil Vevers through into the ground. I know Vevers is from Australia, but I'm sure he wouldn't like to go via that way.
So penalty given away by Penny for a reckless challenge on Vivas. And Paul Loughlin has the opportunity. He's bang in front, but he's only 8 metres inside the Warrington half. The important thing as far as this kick's concerned, if it doesn't sail over the crossbar, that Loughlin hits it dead, so as St Helens get the ball immediately back from the dropout. It's got chances, but just slides wide, but it does run dead. And so St Helens now will drop out from their own 20-metre line. And Saints will get it back.
Great chance there for St Helens to post an extra 2 points. Really will count, because Warrington, they know they are on the rack. They've got a lot to sort out. Their coach Brian Johnson, I'm sure, would be getting the messages out to them that they've got to roll up their sleeves. The forwards have got to start working a little bit.
Well, they've welcomed back Chambers, Steve-o, but I think they're missing Teachel at the moment.
Well, the thing is that they've made the breaks, but they've given it away so early in the tackle count.
Look at that break from Dannett, though. He's got Hodgkinson in support. Penny again with lifting the man's legs. He's running a risk here, is Lee Penny. Griffiths and O'Donnell, and then Griffiths finds Sonny Nicol.
This is where Saints need a quick play of the ball. You can see Warrington slow to get back into the line.
Casey to Griffiths. Good ball to Nicol, and Nicol so close. Last tackle for St Helens. They'll run this. Ball down forward to Casey again. And Warrington's defence caught cold. And Sean Casey, 2 on a home debut. It was a lovely dab forward by Hodgkinson. And Casey, the man who read the script.
Great play by the hooker, Tommy Hodgkinson. This is where Griffiths gets tackled. Spins down, and good support play by Nicol. He can't make it. But look how Nicol's trying to make a quick play of the ball. That's what it counts. They're still coming back on side, Warrington. And look at that. It was only a little stab kick. It went right. It was a move they planned, I'm sure. They played in the alliance together so many times. That is great play. Good thinking from the 2 youngsters. And the second try for that man, Sean Casey. What a game he's having.
It's 8-0 at the moment. And Loughlin, this is the easiest of his 3 kicks so far. And that's how easy it is. It's an extra 2. Saints ahead by 10 points to 0.
It's all about brains. Hodgkinson there, you can see the movement of the players. He just puts it behind. Oh, that is great thinking. A lot of people think that hookers don't have brains, but they certainly do. And isn't he happy? Yes, sirree.
Great home debut for Sean Casey. 2 tries, and we've just been playing 21 minutes, that's all. Warrington restart, up against it, 10 points to 0. The new broom at Knowsley Road, Steve-o, in the shape of Eric Hughes and company, is starting to sweep a bit clean.
Well, he's got to feel pleased, especially with that bad defeat midweek. I'm sure that he read the riot act. But they really are playing with a lot of purpose, aren't they?
It was Loughlin who picked up that pass. Mark Forster picked him up. I just wonder, Mike, whether Warrington thought when they came out here and saw how many stars St Helens had missing that they just had to turn up, play and pick up the win.
Well, I don't think that would have made too much of a difference to them. They are a very professional outfit. Let's not take anything away from St Helens, the way that they're playing, but Warrington have bombed 2 opportunities. And quite frankly, it could have been 10-all. It's all about taking your chances, and Warrington have not.
Paul Derbyshire with that run straight into the formidable frame of John Harrison. And Thursfield drops that and surrenders possession back.
Trying to get the ball out wide, trying to get it to Chambers. They really are panicking, Warrington. They've got to slow things down, try to get themselves organised, get back into the game plan.
Here's Pickavance. Tries to get away from Ellis. It is hauled down by Derbyshire. I notice that Mark Hilton is warming up, the teenage prop forward. I think we'll be seeing him shortly, but meanwhile St Helens are rolling forward with Loughlin. That's Hilton preparing to warm up. The ball spins clear, it went backwards, it's play on. That ball went forward and Chambers, I was going to say he's going to be offside, but it must have come off a St Helens hand.
It did. Referee was right there. He saw it all. And this is where Warrington now, there you can see the ball that come off Sonny Nicholls' hand. Quite all right for Chambers to drop upon that. But the Warrington forwards have to start rolling their sleeves up and start getting some movement forward.
Thursfield to Chambers, who will be the man to come off once Hilton is allowed onto the field, I understand. This is Thursfield again, and now Phillips. He's run strongly, looking for support behind him. There's nobody there. And Saints having the devil's own job to bring him down. Gets it out to Bateman. Juggling by Foster. Foster loses momentum. Saints bundle him into touch.
Well, the support play was not there, and then when it did come, they took the option down the blind side. Andy Hay. Great defence.
Hilton's about to come on. Chambers is coming off. Chambers, the Cumbrian, makes way for Hilton. Only a teenager, but my word, Hilton, such a prospect again, yet another one of them. And we see so many on the big league this season. Andy Hay, he's another. Harrison.
Well, it's obvious that it's a move, the coach Brian Johnson. He wanted some more action in the forwards. That's why he's brought on big Mark Hilton. And they'll get action. He's a big boy.
Brian Johnson shielding the eyes from the bright sunlight that is over Knowsley Road at the moment, and the sun shining down brightly on this St Helens display. Warrington don't look the same side as 7 days ago. That was a good chase by Mackey. He almost got to Viva's kick downfield. And it just runs into touch the right side of that corner flag. Great kick.
Experience showing there. The Australian Vivas punched right into the corner. This is where the defence counts now. There's Vivas egging the side on, saying, come on, let's keep them camped down here.
This is Rob Myler. Almost through, but Joint had him by the collar. 10-0 St Helens lead. Not even the most committed St Helens supporter could have expected this. But that's exactly what St Helens have been, committed to the cause. Warrington are just not getting over the advantage line, are they? They might now.
This is good defence from St Helens. They're moving up quickly, especially out wide, forcing them down that narrow channel down the middle.
Another forward pass. Well, Warrington have walked the tightrope so often this afternoon already.
Well, they're just not getting it together, are they? Awful mistakes. And it just niggles away at your confidence. And when they look at the scoreboard, they're 10 points behind.
Here's O'Donnell, and now Nicol who called for that. Fancied taking them on, and no wonder. Hodgkinson again. Gets the ball away well to Vivas.
Gee, they're doing it right, aren't they? And this little halfback, Tommy Hodgkinson, the hooker, to play the ball. He's running from dummy half. He's creating the options.
It was his pass to Harrison. Harrison looked behind him as he fell. Thought about releasing it. Thought again. It's the last tackle. It's going to be an O'Donnell drop goal. And that stretches the advantage. No, it doesn't. It's been wiped out. I thought it had sailed over.
There's a planned move. The replay just to the right.
John Connolly, the referee, had a long, hard look at that before waving it away, but camera proved he was absolutely right. Now Hilton. He's just peeled a piece of strapping off something or other there as Mark Hilton. He's rolled up his sleeves and he's getting on with the job.
I'm afraid these Warrington players are coming under the ball far too flat.
Ellis, Walter Davis. He was watched closely there, Davis, and Steve Prescott thought about going for the interception.
Well, they must realise they've got to stand further back in the attacking zone. Look, they're all flat-footed.
Phillips drills the ball towards the corner. Vivas shuttles across and picks it up. Now Andy Hay. Harrison gets the ball away, but who to? Kelly Shelford. Now this is a chance for Warrington with Ellis. Davis is there. Davis almost through the gap, but well pulled down by Pickavance. Ellis, the dummy half, to Mackey. To Kelly Shelford. Applies the brakes, changes the direction. Gregory pounces on it. Plays the ball quickly. Shelford again. Up in the air to Ellis. Quick hands. Too quick. Well read Prescott. And Prescott's away. Ankle tack by Ellis. And a good job too.
Oh, super play there. You'll see Prescott come into the vision. Excellent. Knew that the ball was going to be quickly relayed on. And another chance has gone begging for Warrington.
Chris Joint. It was Shelford who ankle tapped him, and then Bateman finished him off. Dannett. The St Helens forwards are giving Warrington a lesson at the moment in what to do.
Well, they've been directed very well by the hooker, Hodgkinson.
The kick downfield deceived Lee Penny. He will let it run behind the line, and so it will be a Warrington tap. Penny's moved up to take the pass. Thursfield, the dummy half. Forster has come in field off the other wing. And Pickavance and Forster wrestling on the ground. Touch judge saw, I think, a little short, sharp right from Pickavance.
The big centre makes the tackle. And then you just see the elbow go down there. And it was just a little one. Silly play. Right in front of the touch judge. Lost his team valuable yards.
If ever a team needed a score, it's Warrington at this point. Hilton, but he was stopped dead in his tracks by Dannett and Nicol. Thursfield Phillips, now that's better. He picked that ball up on the charge, releases the pass back to Thursfield. This is Mackey trying to go through the gap. It was quickly closed down. Joint was there, so too was Harrison. Shelford. Shelford still. Good tackling by Pickavance. They simply can't get through at the moment, Warrington. Mackey to Ellis, to Davis. Gets the ball away to Bateman. He finds Penny. Penny still going and dropped 10 metres short of the line by Haig. Mackey. Shelford.
There's a fight in the background. They're still at it. The touch judges come on, but the play carries on.
But that was on the last tackle. Warrington lose the advantage again. The fight has been sorted and finished by the touch judge and the players involved. But the tension is starting to creep into this Warrington side.
A clash of heads there. He's out. John Harrison, the big forward, is out.
And so too is Derbyshire.
Oh, clash of heads there, and they both go down. Both players being put onto their side so that they don't swallow the tongue. But look at that. It is tough and it is rough. Accidents do occur.
Oh, and there's blood pouring from the head of John Harrison. And Paul Derbyshire, I think, thinks it's Christmas Day. Well, that will be a blood bin for Harrison. There's a stitch or two needed there.
Meanwhile, referee John Connolly just having a quick word whilst the big prop John Harrison goes to the blood bin. Look at the claret.
And Mike Riley will come on to replace Harrison. It was, by the way, Gus O'Donnell and Jonathan Davis who were pulled out by the referee, John Connolly, for the scrap. (10-0 St Helens, 5.5 to go to half-time. In possession with Pickavance. He's a big lad, isn't he, for a centre, and he is taking some punishment, and he's taking some weight to bring him down.
He's creating a lot of problem for Warrington's defence.
Loughlin puts leather to the ball. It's a high one for Myler. He read it perfectly. Gets away from O'Donnell. Can't get away from Mike Riley. Ellis, the dummy half. Here's Mark Hilton. Phil Beavers just ducked the head and waited for him. Phillips. And just take a look at the possession. St Helens 54%, Warrington 46. That's why Saints are 10-0 ahead. But this is Davis now on the break. Oh, it was ankle tapped brilliantly by Loughlin. Penny to Shelford. Ellis, Bateman. There's a lot of heavy traffic ahead of Warrington. Last tackle. Thursfield to Mackey, to Gregory, to Penny. But he's all wrapped up by joint. It's magnificent St Helens defence you're watching here.
Well, what a try-saver that was from the centre, Paul Loughlin. Well, Penny didn't realise that it was the last tackle.
Yeah, another certain 4-point save.
Just the fingertips got to him, but it was a beautifully worked move by Warrington. The crisscross, Shelford going on the blind side, taking away the defence, and the long ball out wide from Jonathan Griffiths. And there you can see, without doubt, the second row of Mike Gregory moving off the mark. The second marker, they must stand behind each other.
Well, St Helens, their title hopes are now gone, having suffered 6 defeats already in the big league. But they're not playing with a side without ambition, are they?
Well, we said they'd have to get off to a good start, and they've just done that, haven't they?
What a great run from Nicol. And the men are back there in support to keep this movement going. That's great play from Prescott. This is Riley. And Riley straight into the chest of Ellis. Warrington are at odds here to keep St Helens out. Here's Casey. Long pass out to Haig. Brought down by Forster.
Well spotted by the winger Forster there. Ball and all tackled. Haig felt that one.
Here's Nicol. Danger for Warrington every time he gets it. This is Pickavance. He's had a wow over first half. Vivers passing the ball inside. Thursfield drops on it gratefully for Warrington.
Well, I get the impression that Thursfield called for that. Vivers turning in the tackle.
Phillips now for Warrington. It's been all action stuff again, hasn't it? No one in support for Phillips. He was looking round to release the ball before he fell.
That's been another problem for Warrington in this first half. They're just setting up for moves rather than working. On the occasion when anyone makes a half break, there's just no support.
Dannett went for that interception. Shelford, good tackling by his opposite number, Casey. Here's Thursfield. Now it's Bateman. Just dinks the ball forward. It bounces kindly for him. He continues the movement on with a kick. Knock on by the winger Prescott.
No, it's pretty hard there. Looked like the right hand was trying to drag the ball back. The touch judge was in an excellent position. He's not happy with it. He's a youngster. Realizes that now St. Helens are on the rack.
Just a minute plus any stoppages, and there will be a little bit of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Long pass from Ellis to Davis. Penny is there. Penny tries to go inside. That's straight from Penny, and that's exactly what Warrington needed. Great run from Penny. Great pass from Davis. The 1-2, and Warrington have 4.
What a time to work the move. A long ball out. The fullback linking through. Beautiful long ball from Ellis. And you could see he'd drawn in the centre, Paul Loughlin. The gap had appeared. It was a super step inside. And the try was taken. It's all about the long, quick ball. And this is a super pass from Ellis. Look at that. And you can see the run around. He drags in Loughlin. The step inside. There's no chance for Prescott to stop him, neither the fullback, Vivers. And Lee Penny has brought this game alight.
Tries in successive weeks for the Warrington fullback. The Academy International under-21 fullback against New Zealand. Now Jonathan Davis, the game's leading point scorer. 217 so far. 13 tries and 7 drop goals, as well as those 79 goals. Davis doesn't miss those. 80 goals for him, but more significantly, 6 points for Warrington.
Look how the long pass has left such a huge gap either side. There's Penny coming through, and poor O'Loughlin is sucked in. The rest is a great movement. Look at the beautiful step there. No chance for Steve Prescott, nor the fullback Phil Vivers. What a time to strike back just before the half-time break.
It was needed. It's not been Lee Penny's most distinguished first 40 minutes, but he will put 1 or 2 indiscretions well and truly out of his mind now and concentrate on that 4-point try. Right on the stroke of half-time then. Warrington back in the hunt at 10-6 and in possession with Shelford.
Well, if ever the team needed a try, it was Warrington. They really were at 6s and 7s, and that will really lift them up. Step up a few gears now.
There's the half-time siren. It was right on the stroke of 40 minutes, wasn't it, when Lee Penny got across. But it's Sean Casey with the 2 tries that gave St. Helens a half-time lead of 10 points to 6. And Warrington up off the canvas and fighting for the second half. So half-time here at Nosey Road. St. Helens ahead by 10 points to 6. 2 tries from Sean Casey, 1 from Lee Penny. And Warrington just getting the score at exactly the right time in that first half. But we have 40 very important minutes at the top of the Stones Bit of Championship coming up for you on the big league tonight. Warrington dare not lose. They're trailing by 10 points to 6. And I'm sure that Brian Johnson has passed the message to his players in the dressing room that if they want to maintain their title ambitions, every good man now has to come to the aid of the party. But Sean Casey is the man who really has dented their title hopes in that first half. Incidentally, Brian Johnson watching there, having delivered his half-time team talk. We're being watched, I understand, tonight in the Alderhay Hospital on Merseyside by a very special youngster, Lee Molyneux, who's recovering from serious illness. And Steve-O and me and all his family and friends, Lee, wish you all the very best in the future. So I'm sure do these two sides who are going hammer and tongs here today for the 2 points in the big league. Mackey's clip over the top, just too long. Opening minute of this second half, Steve-O, a vital second half for Warrington.
Well, I'm sure that their coach, Brian Johnson, would have quite a few words of wisdom, and perhaps loud words of wisdom. Warrington really have got to come up a gear. Fortunate to get that try just before the half-time break. That would have lifted their spirits, but they've got to sort their attack out.
Quick hands again from St Helens. This is Steve Prescott taking them all on. It's Roland Phillips who brings him down. O'Donnell, Casey, Loughlin, turned, no one there for Loughlin. Under pressure from Bateman he was. Joint on the last tackle, dabs it forward. It's Joint who's leaving the chase, and that's a great run from Joint, and I'm afraid that was poor defence from Warrington.
Well, they held off, didn't they? They allowed that ball to go on forever, but it was a beautiful kick there by the second rower, Chris Joint. Didn't want to get into touch, just punched it into the corner and got what he wanted. The good tackle, now the dropout from underneath the sticks.
Good news for St Helens is that their big prop forward, John Harrison, has emerged from the dressing room to compete in this second half, having had stitches in that head wound. Here's Pickavance. Great run and drive into the trouble, then releasing the pass to Nicol. But unfortunately for Nicol, his pass to Prescott was missed, and Warrington have it back.
Bad mistake there from the youngster Steve Prescott on the wing. But they have ventured down the blind side, and they've caught Warrington on a few occasions.
First field, the dummy half. He finds Mackey. Mackey to Ellis. Ellis saw a little gap. It was quickly closed down. Pickavance and Nicol. And Ellis lost that as he played the ball. It's a big error from the Welshman, that.
Never really had full control of it. Bad mistake so early in the tackle count.
Let's get the half-time news now from Mark Wallace.
Yes, Eddie, as you said, John Harrison is back on for Mike Riley. First of all, he had 16 stitches in a 2.5-inch cut. He was a bit shaky, but he's all right to come back on. Eric Hughes has told his players that he's very pleased with the first half performance. A lot of spirit, a complete change from the game against Salford, and the youngsters are fighting for their places. In the Warrington dressing room, well, Brian Johnson left early. He went berserk with his boys. He said he hasn't seen them play as bad for a long, long time. He told them to get out there and do the business.
That's what they're trying to do now with Ellis and Gregory. Bad ball. It was a bouncer in front of Bateman, and Bateman somehow held on. The referee said it wasn't a knock-on. This is Gregory again. Brian Johnson, the man who left early from the half-time dressing down. Mackey gets away from Loughlin, the little man. Finds Ellis. Still going, Ellis. And the referee wants a word with either O'Donnell or Nicol or both.
Ellis trying to get out there, and you see Nicol through the right. It was heavy, and then he went in again. Watch this. There's the right one. And then he goes over the top. Referee not happy with it. Bit of blood coming away from Nicol's lip too. It's a tough one. That was a silly way, especially in front of the sticks. There's the man who caught the punch, Kevin Ellis.
He has had treatment, he's okay, he carries on. Davis then with this penalty. That's the angle that he has to bring Warrington back to within 2 points. 1 from 1. He and his coach Brian Johnson will be desperate that this is 2 from 2. 2 from 2 it is. Warrington now within 2 points, 10-8. St Helens have not conceded a league double to Warrington since the 1979-80 season. Warrington, though, as I said in the first half, have beaten them twice already this season. And Eric Hughes, the St Helens coach, softly spoken but fiercely competitive, has really fired this St Helens team up for this challenge that they have today. Takes 2. Hodgkinson and Casey to bring Roland Phillips down. Hilton with the run. Thursfield to Shelford. Almost away from Griffiths. Finished off by Hodgkinson. Ellis. Not the best pass in the world. Derbyshire hung on though.
Still pretty strong, this St Helens defence. Perhaps Warrington will be best served to run a little bit more from dummy half. Trying to pull in this defence.
Gregory tried to get the pass out to Forster. It was an unnecessary pass.
Well, it was on. Forster had the clean run. Gregory had pulled in the 2 defenders, but the pass was not all that good.
Yes, if it had come off, Gregory would have been hailed as a world beater, but it went straight into touch. St Helens then in possession with Chris Joynt. Away from Bateman. Away almost from the next 4. But Gregory and Thursfield and Phillips combined to bring him down. O'Donnell to Harrison. 16 stitches in the head. And a swinging arm from Derbyshire.
Went straight at the big fella, didn't he? Look at that. Right over the top. Perhaps he made contact with the ball first, but either way, finished up in the face of the big prop forward.
And Loughlin just puts the kick straight into touch directly opposite where he was standing. His foot must have swiveled, I think, as he took that kick. Made no ground. But it's St Helens in possession with O'Donnell. Now Harrison again. 5-3 to St Helens on the penalty count. 10-8 to St Helens on the scoreboard. They're in possession again. That was not high, rules the referee on pick of ants. Hodgkinson from dummy half. This is Casey. Loughlin overran it, and Loughlin was adjudged to have obstructed the Warrington back line.
Loose forward Sean Casey. Pretty close there. But it was deemed that Loughlin had gone right through, not allowing Phillips any chance to get to the loose forward Casey. Chance gone begging. Good position there, lost from St Helens.
Hilton with the run. Talking to Brian Johnson yesterday about Mark Hilton, he said even as a 16-year-old, he expected to be in the first grade.
I still would like to see a lot more support with the ball carrier from Warrington. The half breaks are there, and they're really... Oh, what a break!
It was Shelford to Bateman. Lovely run from Bateman. How he tosses the ball back inside. Penny will pick it up, and it's lucky that he did for Warrington. Still going, Penny. The movement will continue. It was a heck of a run from Bateman, but he tossed the ball over his shoulder. Thought the support was there, and it wasn't. This is Mackey, infield to Shelford. This Warrington attack keeps going. Ellis. Davis drops it. That attack comes to an end.
Once again, Warrington caught flat. Ellis was trying to bring someone on the run. There was no one there. There he holds the ball up. And Davis was trying to come back inside before even attempting to get that ball.
They're contributing, Steve-O, to their own downfall at the moment, aren't they?
They've got to stand a little bit deeper.
Having said that, what a display from St Helens. Something not even their most committed supporter could have expected. Loughlin is the dummy half, and he's running strongly again. Turns in the tackle, drops the ball, gets it back. The referee referee was 5 yards away. The touch judge on the far side says it's a steal in the tackle. It's a penalty to St Helens.
Pretty hard to see there. Very hard to see whether there was any interference, but the touch judge over on that side said there was. They've got to consolidate now, St Helens, not do anything stupid.
Casey held up, dummied, then took the tackle from Mike Gregory.
He's going to be a good one, isn't he, this loose forward, Sean Casey.
Great prospect.
Playing with a lot of confidence.
So is St Helens, Hodgkinson.
He's not far behind him either, he's the hooker. He's had a big game.
Griffiths to Joint. Joint dummied to Loughlin. He's still there, Joint. Hodgkinson again. O'Donnell out wide. 4 men over on that far side. One of them is Nicol. Warrington just can't bring these big St Helens forwards down. Referee says the tackle was completed while Nicol was on his feet. O'Donnell hoists the kick across field. Forster's underneath it. Forster takes it behind his own try line. That's a rule that he has defused the bomb. But here's the Bateman break, Steve-O.
It was a beautiful run, but he just threw it away with an awful pass. Fortunately, it was Penny that came on the back. See the winger there. Forster couldn't believe it. Try time. That's another one that's gone.
Thursfield from dummy half on his own makes the 10 yards.
That's better. That's what they should be doing, mixing and matching from the dummy half position. It'll catch the defence out.
Ellis is doing the same here. It was a good tackle in the end from Hodgkinson. The young hooker's working hard. This is Greg Mackey stepping. Great tackle again, Vivers. Shelford to Gregory. Gregory back to Phillips. Oh, Phillips was not waiting for that. Was not expecting it. Drops it.
Well, Mike Gregory was looking for someone to run and support him, and there was no one. So he had no option but to bring the ball back inside, and the prop forward knocked on. Another one to the list.
If you say at the end of this to Brian Johnson, the Warrington coach, good game, duck. Dannett's pass. It's untidy, but St Helens have it back. It's ruled there that the ball has gone backwards and St Helens retain possession. That's a scrappy pass. Joint made the most of it. He's made more than that. He's made a meal of it. Here comes Loughlin. Good tackling Mackey. Casey chips one over the top. Oh, it beat him the bounce. It was so unlucky that. Now Penny for Warrington. This is a rip-roaring game.
Beautiful play by the loose forward, though. He could see that Warrington did not have the sweeper, and he didn't get the bounce. What a movement that would have been if he could have regained possession.
Roland Phillips taking that pass cleanly. Thursfield, the dummy half, to Mackey. Mackey with the step. Gets the ball away again to Phillips. Strength from Phillips. Still going, Roland Phillips. Swatting the challenges away, but Haig and Loughlin stuck to their guns.
Well, we just saw Greg Mackey start to attack the defence, and that's what he's got to do. Both Ellis and Mackey must run at the defence, bring the defence in and create the gaps.
It's last tackle here for Warrington. It's with Davis. Watch for this high kick. Loughlin takes it, diffuses it perfectly.
What a kick from Davis. That seemed to take an eternity to come down.
Here's Andy Haig. Gregory has him. Good job he did too. The field was stretching out ahead of Haig. Hodgkinson, Harrison. Griffiths, Dannett.
St Helens have just got to tough it out now, then use the kick downfield.
Hodgkinson to Vivers. This is Haig. Forster has him. Last tackle for St Helens now. O'Donnell clips one over the top. Penny picks it up eventually. Oh, through a lovely dummy, went round Jonathan Griffiths. Got the ball away to Ellis. Penny again in a dummy half. This is Derbyshire. Shelford now. Untidy at the play, the ball play on is the decision from the referee. Hilton with the run, joint with a copybook tackle. Mackey switches the direction of the attack again to Ellis. Last tackle now for Warrington.
The trouble is they're switching the direction, but there's no one running onto the football.
Clip over the top from Shelford. It comes off for him. Ball out wide to Myler. Takes it one-handed, Myler. And Myler then hoists a crossfield kick. Gregory's after it. The ball bounces into the arms of Vivers. That's a good run, though. Great chase from Kevin Ellis. Great kick from Rob Myler.
Was it ever under a lot of pressure? Just shows you what the rugby league football can do on the bounce. Good job that Vivers was on hand there. Well, the pressure mounts.
Substitution happening for Warrington, Mark Wallace.
Warrington making a substitution. Number 14, David Elliott, going on. He scored one try this season. And Kevin Ellis, the standoff is coming off. He apparently has got a shoulder strain.
Yeah, looks in a bit of pain, Ellis, but David Elliott has had some influence on matches when he has come off the bench this season. I wonder if he will be the man to turn this game Warrington's way. Phillips with a brave run. Good run from the prop forward, draws applause from the Warrington crowd.
And rightly so, he's had a big game.
Gregory with another charge towards those St Helens posts. Big chance here for Warrington. Shelford trying to duck under the challenges. Took three to bring him down. The last tackle in was Joint. Thursfield, Mackey. Davis wants it. But they're all standing still again, Warrington. It's great defence from St Helens. Hilton, Davis. Again, Warrington have not got the men coming up in support.
They have got to go back to basic football. Forget about setting up for all these fancy moves. Just hit the line hard and support the man with the football. Honest, hard endeavour, that's what they need.
St Helens in possession with Pickavants. Well, he has played so well. He's released that ball to Prescott, who sidestepped round Myler. It's a great run from the 18-year-old Prescott. Davis and Mackey have to bring him down. St Helens on the roll here with Vivers. Now Joint, now Casey, back inside to Joint. Desperate defence now from Warrington.
But what classic play from St Helens.
Dannett. Still going Dannett. They're in the danger zone on the last tackle. O'Donnell tries the one-pointer. That one finds the mark. That's the 11th point for St Helens. And it's O'Donnell's 11th drop goal of the season.
Cool, calm and collected. Gave himself plenty of time. There was never any doubt about it. Straight over the bar, right through the middle.
Number 14, John McCarthy, has taken the field, and he's replaced the hooker, number 9, Tommy Hodgkinson.
Yes, McAtee on, one of the men from the academy, another of the Eric Hughes pupils. He comes on, but what a match Tommy Hodgkinson has had. It's 11-8, 3 points the difference. I wonder whether that O'Donnell drop goal will be priceless, just as it was when last we were here for the Saints match against Hull Kingston Rovers. Kevin Ellis has left the field, and he is now sitting alongside Mark Wallace.
Kevin, Steve-O's talking about going back to basics. Do you think that's what Warrington have to do?
That's right, yes. We need to get our kicking game in order. At the moment, it's been non-existent. We put all the hard work in, but we just haven't put the pressure on.
This Saints defence looks as though it's very difficult to break. Is it hard to break? You've been out there.
Yeah, it is. They've got a big, strong pack of forwards and some quick backs. I know they haven't got the best team out, but you know, the boys have been given a chance and they're proving it.
And finally, what's the problem with yourself?
Well, I've had a trapped nerve all week in my neck and shoulder, but it's not too bad today. I think it's just a precaution.
Do you think you'll be going back on?
Well, hopefully. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they don't like to come off the field, these rugby league stars. But we have a little more than 19 minutes left for play here. And Warrington have been behind all the way through, and they are 3 points down at the moment. And this would be an absolute disaster for them at the top of the table if they lose here. But you have to take your hat off to the Saints.
My word, they played very well. They really have bottled up the danger men, Bateman and Davis, especially Davis. Ian Pickavance, the big, strong centre for Saints, he really has been in top form.
Here's another great youngster, Steve-O, that you've seen in the academy last season, John McAtee.
He's a crafty little player. Cheeky is what they call him. And he's got plenty of speed. Beautiful step. Look for him stepping, perhaps running from the dummy half position.
It's Griffiths, and now McAtee, and he leaves it for Griffiths again, who delayed the pass to Joint. It's a great game, this, though, isn't it? Another corker for you on the big league. Haig couldn't go through Forster. Last tackle for St Helens. Vivas directing opposition, the direction I'll get it right in a minute. Directing operations from the dummy half, but it's Roland Phillips with the run, and again, no one in support.
He's been striding through this defence on many occasions, but there's just been nobody there. But Davis has put on the magic.
Great break from Davis. He fancies a race. The race is on between Penny. The ball bounces kindly, and it's a try for Rob Myler. Young Steve Prescott couldn't hold on. Penny put him under all sorts of pressure. It bounced off the body of the young teenage winger, and Myler was there to say thank you. That's 13 for me, and it's 4 for Warrington.
Well, we put the mocker on it, didn't we? We said that Ian Pickavance has been playing well and keeping Davis quiet. On this occasion, Davis in and out. Beautiful step. He knew that he couldn't make it. He put the ball to the foot. But what a tragic mistake from Steve Prescott. He's played so well as Prescott there. Bounced through, and a simple try there for Rob Myler. But good thinking by the Welsh wizard, Jonathan Davis. Look at the mistake there. Couldn't be helped. It bounced off his chest onto the floor. And the gift is 4 points for Rob Myler.
Myler with the try, and Davis now from bang in front increases the Warrington lead. They now have a 3-point advantage. It has swung their way. They're in the lead for the first time.
For the first time, Pickavance have done the right thing, but look at the step in and away. Super stuff. Speed off the mark. Classic style. He knows that the cover's coming across. He would not have beaten Phil Vivas. And anything can happen when they're racing towards the ball, and it did.
So, St Helens 11, Warrington 14. Over a quarter of an hour to go. This one is way, way off finished. And it was Nicol who was making the play for the ball as Warrington played it. The referee says Warrington now are back to 6 tackles. And suddenly, Steve-O, in the twinkling of an eye, it's St Helens who are having to catch up.
Forget about the twinkle in the eye. It was the twinkle in the feet from Jonathan Davis that made the break. Little bit of lady luck was going Warrington's way. And they now take command. They're leading. This will test the mettle now of St Helens, especially a lot of the youngsters out there. But I'm sure that they can come back.
Yes, the way they've been playing. Missing 10 first-teamers because of injury, remember, St Helens, but what a performance they have put on, this makeshift side. Davis just this time clips one towards the line. Andy Haig traps it on his chest and then picks it up. Warrington will apply more pressure. Davis, the man who has had a quiet afternoon, but twice he's been involved and both times tries. I suppose in many ways, Steve-O, that's the measure of greatness, isn't it? You can have a quiet match, but then appear in it twice and tries.
Yes. They just burn, don't they? They bubble and then just explode at the right moment.
Pickavance. He has done that all afternoon. Apart from being beaten for the step by Davis and a bit of pace, he's had a magnificent match. So is this fella. Laughlin, that was a lovely pass from Casey. Laughlin is there, and he had Andy Hay coming up in support, but Mackey's tackle had to be good, and it was. Here's Casey. This fella's got all the confidence in the world. Nicol stepped through one challenge. He's still going Nicol. What a job Warrington have got to keep this fellow out.
Well, I thought Laughlin there paid the price of still running to the corner, when really he had on the inside of him, he had Jonathan Griffiths screaming for the ball. It was try time if he passed the ball back inside.
That tackle on Nicol was the last one. Warrington get the ball back automatically. It's the turnover. Well, we had a corker of a game on Friday. We have got a cracker of a game today. And it's level pegging just about on the possession stakes.
Once again, we see the big Roland Phillips. He's had a wow of a game.
Hilton. Tackle there by Dannett. And the other prop forward, Harrison. Remember, the big 6'7" prop for Saints has had 16 stitches in a head wound. The bravery of these players is quite remarkable. Vivers now for St Helens to run it back. Bateman tackles him. O'Donnell to Harrison again. Has not shirked anything. Oh, McAtee with a drop. The youngster knows he's made the error.
It's a nice pass back. Perhaps a little bit too high, but he should bring those in. Especially when your side is 3 points adrift.
Here's Davis again. Steps away from Pickavance once more. And it's Casey. Running it close on the St Helens side. Casey for man of the match. Mackey was almost through. Casey again with the tackle. Shelford. Ball out wide to Phillips. To Gregory. Gregory try. Warrington will not lie down. Mike Gregory picks the moment for his second try of the season. All the injury now way behind him. The smile tells it all.
Once again, it was Davis that made the break. Then Mackey made another. Shelford out wide, but what a wonderful pass from the prop forward, Roland Phillips. And Mike Gregory will enjoy that. Super play. Shelford away from the dummy half. You could see that the Saints defence, they were slow to get themselves organised and paid the price. This is Davis. He made this break first. Look at that. In and out, step through the dummy and quick play the ball. Mackey comes on from that, and then the try was coming away. Two quick play the balls, and the result was a try for that man.
Mike Gregory, the 1990 British Lions captain down under in New Zealand. He has had the most vicious luck with injuries since, but he's well and truly back in the big league now. So Davis 3 from 3, but this is the most testing of all the conversions and goal kicks that Davis has had. That's the angle he's got. It has a chance. Great kick from Davis. There should be champagne in that water bottle. That was a magnificent touchline conversion. 20-11.
Prescott's coming to take Phillips. The little neat pass, and the way is clear. Superb play by the big prop forward. The centre three-quarter would be pleased with that pass.
Gary Chambers has returned to the action, and he has replaced Mark Hilton, the youngster who has replaced him. That ball bounces kindly for St Helens. Loughlin was under pressure from Roland Phillips. The ball went backwards. Hay continued it. And here comes St Helens once again, this time with Vivers. For so long, Saints have led this match. Now they're in danger of seeing it slip away from them in the last 10 minutes.
Be a shame for them because they really have worked hard. But full credit to Warrington, they kept going at it. Oh, and that's a bad mistake.
Was it stolen? Was it dropped? The referee says it was dropped. It's a knock-on.
Yes, he was trying to get the ball away, was Harrison. With the scoreline at 20-11. Let's see, you can see the big prop forward trying to get that ball out wide. It's St Helens now that are having to play a little panic football. Take the risks that they wouldn't normally take, chasing those elusive 9 points.
Mackey to the substitute, David Elliott. Here's Mike Gregory. That was high from Loughlin, but it was more of a grab than anything else. Referee John Connolly saw it and just has a little word in the ear of Loughlin. That's good refereeing. Mackey away from McAtee. Uses the referee as a shield, gets it away to Gregory. Gregory goes back in exactly the same direction. He's running strong now, Mike Gregory. Tackle low by Vivers.
It's amazing what a couple of tries does to a side, isn't it? They're running with a lot more vim and vigour, but this guy's been doing it all day, especially the second half.
Pursfield, Mackey, Elliott. Last tackle for Warrington. Derbyshire back to Davis. Drop goal attempt from Davis. Has the extra one.
Let's get out of here with 1 point, and that's exactly what he does. The professionalism coming out there. Shouted loud for the ball came his way. The extra point, and I'm sure that when they get down that way again, that same man will be screaming for the opportunity.
Well, last season, Warrington struggled because they didn't have a goal kicker. They have certainly got one now in the shape of Jonathan Davis, but Steve-O, he has offered them a lot more than simply popping the ball over the crossbar from place kicks and drop goals.
Well, that's why he's a world-class player, isn't he, as well? Even though he was just smouldering, they kept him under control for most of this game. Two little just flashes of brilliance have allowed Warrington to take control.
His fella's worked hard too this afternoon, Kelly Shelford. He must be a more happy man now, Brian Johnson, although you wouldn't tell it from that expression. Six minutes to go then. Phillips hits the ball at pace again. Takes three to haul the big Welsh prop forward down. Thursfield. Here's Gary Chambers. Played the opening 20 minutes, now playing the last 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. Davis again. Clips one over the top. Straight into the arms of Prescott. And that looked like a flop from Paul Derbyshire.
It sure was.
Pickavance. Griffiths just couldn't get through. Dannett. Now Joint. Joint has worked as hard as anyone in that St Helens side too.
There's been a lot of stars on display today. Really has been a great game. Full credit to both sides.
McAtee to Vivers. To Casey. Back to Vivers. Now Loughlin. Good running at the angles from St Helens. Last tackle. McAtee hauled down by Bateman. Vivers to Joint. Joint under pressure from Bateman. Kicks downfield, makes about 20 metres territory.
Well, with less than 5 minutes to go, there you see Joint punching the ball through. Their heads are beginning to just tilt a little bit. It's been a great effort from St Helens. They've controlled this game for most of it. of the 80 minutes, but to be fair, the professionalism of Warrington, they kept trying and trying. It wasn't coming for them. And that's the advantage, Eddie, of having someone so skillful that can be a match winner. And Jonathan Davis is certainly that.
4 minutes to go here then at Knowsley Road. It's been fortress Knowsley Road despite all St Helens' problems this season. And their injury problems, we've catalogued them today already, but they've also lost their coach, of course, midway through the campaign in Mike McLennan, to be replaced by Eric Hughes. But this is only St Helens' second defeat in the league here at Knowsley Road this season. Sheffield Eagles being the other side to topple them. Bateman, good tackling from Loughlin. It's the last one for Warrington, and they're right on halfway. Davis will arrow that ball to the corner, try and eat up a few more seconds, but Vivas wheels it in.
They're getting it right now, aren't they, Warrington? Composure. They're taking their time. Davis dropping back, punching the ball into the corner. Really makes it very difficult for a side to come out of there.
Well, next Friday on the big league, we stay right at the top of the table. Bradford Northern against Wakefield Trinity. Another battle royal, another local derby.
Head-eye from the hooker Thursfield there. The full effort there, Jonathan Griffiths. Well, many funny things have happened in rugby league in the past. Can St Helens score twice in the remaining 2 minutes?
If any team can, the Saints can. Harrison now. Here's Griffiths. Good tackling Thursfield.
Warrington have dropped Greg Mackey back into the sweeper position. They know perhaps St Helens will do the little kick over. John McAtee's a great exponent of the chip over.
There it is. Clipped it over the top, looking for Prescott. Prescott still going strong there. It was a good job in many ways that Rob Myler was there.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it, when Lady Luck goes against you. It was Prescott at the other end that had the misfortune for the ball to bounce away. Lee Penny stepping over the dead in goal line. Good positioning by John Connolly, the referee. Saints will regain possession, but the seconds are ticking away.
Minute and a half plus anything the timekeepers add on. Not been too many stoppages this second half. Harrison. Well, Warrington will look back on this, and if it is a victory, they will think that perhaps they have not played as well as they have this season. McAtee saw the gap, got the ball away to Loughlin. Man out wide is Pickavance, slides the kick forward, and again it's Rob Myler who is there to shuttle the ball dead.
Safety first, good thinking by Myler. Didn't even want to take possession of that. He knew perhaps if he would have taken possession that the tacklers from St Helens could have taken him in the in-goal area. But he took the safety first option, and rightly so when you've got the lead of 21 points to 11.
Referees just held the clock up because Warrington were taking the time getting Davis into position there to take the dropout. And now we begin St Helens' fourth consecutive set of 6 tackles.
He's worked hard, hasn't he, Chris Joint? Tireless worker today.
It's O'Donnell to Griffiths to Loughlin. Griffiths again, McAtee, short ball from him. Pickavance. They shall not pass. Right on the stroke of 80 minutes. The full-time siren, and Warrington collect a valuable 2 points. Davis flickered into life a couple of times, and the match was won. Sean Casey will remember his home debut more for the 2 tries than the scoreline. Warrington have won by 21 points to 11. So a great win for Warrington, secured by a superb second-half performance, coming back from 10-6 down at the break. They win by 21 points to 11. The tries from Penny, Myler and Gregory, cancelling out the two from Sean Casey. And Davis, ever reliable with the boot. 21-11 then, and a try for Mike Gregory.
Mike, you've been with Warrington for some years now. You must be pleased with the way things are going.
It's going well this season, yeah. We've always been a team that's thereabouts. Maybe we've done well in one competition, and in the league competition we've done nothing. So it's nice that we're thereabouts. And it's a case that we've just got to keep winning, keep playing, putting the performances in that we are doing. And hopefully by the end of the season, Wigan will stumble, Bradford will stumble, and we'll be on the top.
And it's not only going well for Wire, it's actually going very, very well for yourself, isn't it?
Well, yeah, people say I should retire these old legs, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. We've got a lot of young lads in. And the boys who have been playing 18 who've come through in the first team this season, like Mark Hilton and Gary Chambers, you know, they're taking a lot of pressure off the senior players. And to be honest, I'm enjoying the game now. I've been out for 2 seasons doing nothing, and now it's like a new lease of life.
The boys certainly look G'd up. Was it anything to do with knowing that you had all those injuries and it was a tough fixture against Warrington?
Before the game, Eric Hughes pointed out a letter to us what some of the fans had written to us saying you don't mind us getting beat with all the injuries because you know about the injury situation, as long as we give 100%. So we give them 100% today, I think, and I know it wasn't enough in the end, but it was our best.
It must be satisfying for you with Eric Hughes, because you've played through the academy as well, and you're playing with a lot of your mates there today.
Yeah, I was playing with Tommy Hodgkinson and Steve Prescott. The Alliance side doing really well lately, we're top of the league. We had a defeat by Warrington on Friday night, but it's good to see the likes of Tommy Hodgkinson and Steve Prescott myself coming through, because it's only going to benefit Saints in the future.
Roland, another win for Warrington, but were you pleased with the performance?
Yeah, well, I mean, to win us in Helens, you've got to be pleased with it. But we're a bit disappointed with our first half performance. On paper, they played a lot of players out, and possibly we were a bit lethargic to start with, but we had a bit of a telling off at half-time, and came out and fired it up second half.
A lot of people are saying that Warrington are playing with a lot of passion this season. Do you think sometimes the heart overrules the head?
Well, yeah, I mean, possibly the first half today, I mean, you know, we felt we were going to win anyway, but perhaps we were a bit too overconfident to start with, and we knuckled down and played the kind of rugby we can play, and it paid dividends in the end.
So a great display from Roland Phillips in this Warrington victory, which keeps up the pressure at the top of the big league table. But it was a win achieved here at Knowsley Road despite a pretty indifferent performance, particularly in the first half. And was the Warrington coach, Brian Johnson, happy with what he'd seen?
No, not at all. I'm pleased with the result, but I thought we played like a side who expected to win the game and weren't prepared to work hard to win it.
That's what a lot of people said. They said that they're playing with a lot of passion, but sometimes, as you said before, the heart is overruling the head.
Yeah, certainly our heart, well, maybe our heart overruled our head. I don't know. I don't know that we played with a lot of passion, to be honest. I thought we were lacklustre. You know, our support play was poor and our defence was poor. All those little areas that make the difference, you know, that where players should put themselves on the line and do that a little bit more, we failed to do. As a result, we defended poorly, we backed up poorly, we wanted to throw the ball around before we ran it forward, you know, so, you know, I just thought it was an ordinary performance.
You must have a lot of, well, admiration for that Saints performance.
Yeah, well, Saints tried hard, but you would expect them to try hard. I mean, they had a hiding midweek, so I don't know, coming here, playing at home, you would expect them to try and re-establish some lost pride, and I guess there's players there who've got an opportunity to prove that they're worthy of a first-grade spot. We would have expected them to try hard. I would have expected my players to try harder still, you know. To be honest, we should have won the game by far more than we did.
I saw you leave the changing room early at half-time without repeating the expletives. What did you say to the players?
Without repeating expletives, nothing. Yeah, I sort of mentioned the fact that I wasn't pleased with the performance in so many words. I mean, we just didn't put enough effort in, quite simply.
Were you happy with the second half performance?
The second half was a bit better, you know, but in saying that, I don't think it was a great performance by any chance. I mean, I would say this is probably the worst performance we've had this year, this season.
Eric, Saints narrowly beaten, but you must have been pleased with that performance.
Well, pleased. Obviously, we're disappointed with the result, but the players who came in today emerged with a great deal of credit. We've talked about a lot of things this week, and we're starting to get to know one another. And the pleasing part from my point of view is some of these players are obviously listening this week, and considering we've had, what, 9 or 10 first-team players out, and they've come along and they've performed, and they've given 100%, and they've give everything for the St Helens cause today. And I think the public, even though we've lost, can understand the problems they've got, and they'll have gone away a lot happier today than they did on Wednesday.
It must be doubly pleasing for you, because a lot of those players you've brought through the academy, the team you coach.
Well, there's a couple in from the academy, and it's nice to see them have a run. And there's a couple who've come in from the A-team, who obviously I've had nothing to do with. But it's nice to see the youngsters come in and perform to the level they've performed. It shows that the future of the club is bright. I do feel we've lost the second half again, and this seems to be a trend that I'm not too happy about. And it does tend to point to the fact that the fitness levels aren't what we want really within the club. And I feel that once we've got those up, it might take quite a few weeks, but I do think we will turn the corner then.
So 1 or 2 crumbs of comfort for Eric Hughes, the new St Helens coach, to take from this match. He's obviously unhappy with the way that the result has turned out, but quite happy with the effort that his team put in, particularly his younger players. And Steve-O, that's the salvation for Saints, the youngsters.
Yeah, it's a confident future ahead, but they would be feeling very happy with their performance, even though they did lose today. It was a spirited performance by St Helens, especially the youngsters that we talked about. But I must say that it was a little bit of lady luck and 2 magic pieces of brilliance from the Welsh wizard, Jonathan Davies. One of the few occasions that he actually went around Pickavance in the centre. In fact, Pickavance had a very top game for St Helens, but one of those occasions where he was just simmering, and it was a beautiful piece of play. He knew he couldn't make the run. He put the kick through, and Lady Luck shined upon it. A little bit unlucky for Steve Prescott. It bounced away and left a gift try for the winger, Rob Myler. Let's not forget that it was Davies just before the half-time break. It was a beautiful pass, worked from the scrum, brought in the fullback Lee Penny. And so, once again, it's that magic from Davies that have given Warrington 2 very, very vital points.
So now the results from the Stonesbitter Championship First Division this weekend. Leeds 14, Wigan 26 on Friday, and confirmation of Warrington's victory here at St Helens today. Elsewhere, Featherstone 20, Halifax 16, Hull 22, Castleford 24, Oldham 16, Hulkingston Rovers 17, Sheffield 28, Bradford 29, a Derek Fox drop goal in the last minute, Wakefield 18, Lee 10, and Widnes 30, Salford 22. The situation at the top then, Warrington are leaders on the table, but only by points difference ahead of Bradford. Wigan in 3rd place with 3 games in hand. Down at the bottom, Lee on 1 point, Oldham on 8, Wakefield, by virtue of their win today, have opened up the 2-point gap. The situation at the top of the 2nd division, Workington have a 3-point lead over Huddersfield, who in turn are 3 points ahead of London Crusaders. No matches in the 2nd division today, because all those teams involved in the 3rd round of the Challenge Cup. And here are the results. Barrow 34, East Leeds 10, Batley 58, Dewsbury Celtic 2, that match played yesterday. Bramley 46, Redhill 20, Carlisle 42, Ascombe 8, Dewsbury 64, Hensingham 6, Doncaster 36, Wigan St Patrick's 4, Highfield 16, Saddleworth 13, and Huddersfield 42, Woolston 6, Hunslet 58, Barrow Island 2, Keighley 68, Oulton 0, London 40, Shawcross 14, Rochdale 32, Millham 0, Rydale York 52, Lee Miners 2, Swinton 30, Earlham Hornets 0, Whitehaven 44, West Hull 4, and Workington 24, Beverley 10, which means that all the teams in the 2nd division go forward to the 4th round draw, which will be held tomorrow. Coming up on the big league next week, Bradford against Wakefield. Bradford Northern going for the top of the table against their Yorkshire rivals. Let's hope for no fog on our visit to Odsal this time. We're live and exclusive on Friday at 7. And on Sunday, we'll take in one of the form teams in the big league, Salford. The Red Devils take on the Early Birds of Hull from the Willows next Sunday at 7 o'clock. And this week, for 1 week only, Boots and All on Thursday reverts to a 5 o'clock kickoff. So 5 o'clock on Thursday for Boots and All.